You are now tuned into Let's Talk Podcast, where we talk less and do more. Today we have a very, very, very special guest. Somebody I've been watching for so long, wondering how she does the very, very many things that she do. Wellness advocate, teacher, founder of Flexology, Hug Haven. I can't wait to get into that because I just love that name. All things movement, all things body, all things wellness, the Wellness ITGIRL, Chelsea. How are you?
I'm great. I'm still getting used to people actually using like the Wellness ITGIRL.
Really?
Yeah.
That was my first thing I thought of as soon as I click on your page. I'm like, okay, yes, the Wellness ITGIRL. That's the name of the episode. Okay.
I love it. No, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
What? So I have so many questions. Okay, so what inspires you to start your wellness journey? Like, were you always into these type of things as a child?
So I always tell people like my wellness journey actually started from a space of being very unwell. Mm-hmm. No, to answer your question, I was not always in a space where I like prioritized wellness, mm-hmm. or even understood like what wellness was. Mm-hmm. Very early, I would say like around 12, 13, I like had a lot of battles with like depression and anxiety and other mental health illnesses, and that just like continued to transpire into my teens and then like young adulthood. And I don't know, I just got to a point where it's like I really want to feel better. Mm-hmm. And once I feel like I started kind of like finding some traction, finding some things that work for me, most of those things were movement related. So it kind of started with like yoga, meditation. I had like friends and peers and my mom that introduced me to like those things as forms of like self-care. Mm-hmm. And I actually started seeing some like changes happening, like, this little yoga thing working or whatever it was, like, just moving my body more, like putting myself in better environments and communities where I saw other people at least looking like what seemed to be healthier. Mm-hmm. When I actually started like consistently doing those things and seeing changes happen within my life, I realized that I wanted to kind of take them back to communities or my friends that were like in the same space that mm-hmm. I was to start. And so it went from just me doing things that I enjoy and using them as tools for myself to actually like developing a career out of it. And I truly believe like it's like my calling. Like that's what God always mm-hmm. wanted me to do.
That's crazy because that's my next question. When exactly did you feel like it went from being routine to make yourself feel better to actually being like your purpose? Because even with you, I love having people on so I can tell y'all how much I stalk y'all pages. So even with you just teaching your classes and you just doing it like, it just comes so natural. But even how you pour into like, not only if you got I love that if you got a big class mm-hmm. or if you're just teaching one person, mm-hmm. you're still pouring into that person. I'm watching mm-hmm. it like, yes, oh my God. It's just real motivating. It's inspiring. I always tell people like, I love people whose pages are just like refreshing, like just something good to look at, especially in a time right now where everything is just like, I just like seeing good things on my timeline. So I love how you really just pour into whoever you're working with at the time. It's Thank you. Amazing to see.
Yeah. I don't know like the exact moment that mm-hmm. it kind of transitioned from routine or habit to like actually facilitating, teaching, operating as a business owner. But I can say like I've always been a teacher, mm-hmm. like since birth. I feel like I've always just been really good at leading, mm-hmm. teaching, affirming, like inciting confidence in people since I was young. And so the whole idea of like the teacher Chelsea is like very literal. Like, mm-hmm. yes, I do teach, but like even outside of those spaces, I feel like I'm always teaching. Like operating in that role. Mm-hmm. And I prioritize being a student too. So they kind of just like are like synonymous. Mm-hmm. But I would say if I had to like pinpoint, I would say maybe around 2021, like mm-hmm. transitioning like out of college into actually like, okay, I'm really a big girl now. Mm-hmm. I'm like a really adult. Right around that period is when I noticed like, okay, this is not just something I'm doing for myself. Like this is something that I actually I'm supposed to do this, and I do it really well. Mm-hmm. And it does warm my heart hearing you say that, because everybody who I connect with always tell me like how you show up online is how you really are in real life. And again, like whether you're working with 500 or 5 people, like you show up as the same version of yourself. And I don't realize I do that. Like when I get into like teaching or like that mode, everything just flows very organically. So I don't know. I had to just give God his credit, because I don't feel like I've always even put thought into it. Like it just kind of happens. Now I'm being more intentional about it. But yeah.
Something that stands out to me, I just got the chills. Something that stands out to me is when Mia was like, I hate, what she say? I hate squats. You were like, can I be myself for a minute? And I'm like, I'm thinking you about to go crazy. You was like, stop saying that. I'm like, oh my, yes, because it's certain things I say. I was saying something at the gym. I'm like, I was on my earpiece talking to my friend, but I was standing next to a girl and I was like, it was a few days ago because I'm on day 4. I'm like, I'm about to try the Stairmaster for 30 days. Like, I cannot stay on the Stairmaster more than 5 minutes. Like, I just was doing this. And he's like, can I talk to you for a minute? I'm like, I'm going to call you back. Because at first I was like, yeah. She like off. I'm like, I'm going to call you back. She was like, whoever he's on the phone with, they were supposed to be telling you can do it, and you did it.
Exactly. That would have been me.
And she like, you can get on that Stairmaster, you can stay there. And I'm just like, you right. And then I actually did it. And then today, I usually just so lazy. I do it. When I first got on the Stairmaster, I would do 5 minutes, take a little break, 5 minutes up to my 30. Today, I don't know if it's just because my day was just crazy. I just went and I took a break at 15 minutes, and then I just finished. And I was like, I took one break.
And you did it.
And if I wasn't pressed for time, I could have stayed on there longer. And this is what I was just telling this girl at this orientation. I'm noticing this time around, because I always can go to the gym and lose weight real quick. I'm more intentional. I'm not trying to lose weight quick, apple cider vinegar diet and all that. I'm really, for one, I don't even go for the weight no more. I'm going for my mental. It's like, today I woke up, I was just like all over the place. I went to the gym and I just felt better. Situation changed? No. But mentally, I just felt like just
different, like shift.
Just better. So I'm saying all that to say, when you was like, can I be myself for a minute? And you told her, like, you don't speak those things. Like, that was just like...
And that was probably one of the first times that I've like asked permission to do that with like a student or client, just because like I obviously love and respect me. So I'm like, can I?
And everybody don't take to stuff. Yeah, people take the stuff different. So
yeah, and knowing like this whole flexibility concept is not only just for her, but for a lot of people really different and new, and people are learning me as a person and as an instructor. Like obviously I'm gonna equip you with like all of the knowledge about what we're doing, but so much of my work is mental. A lot of people don't know, like outside of teaching, I'm a life coach also, so I'm always like integrating that into my teaching. And if I was at the gym and I heard that, I would have did the same thing. Like, excuse me, can I just... I always ask for permission. You know, I don't give unsolicited advice, but like, I have to. Like, I just have to.
I love when people are not afraid to give constructive criticism or just words of affirmation. I forgot what facility I was working at because I do CNA work. I told a girl, I'm like, your skin is so beautiful. Like, what do you do? She was like, oh my God, thank you for telling. I've been working on my skin for so long. People just need they just need that reassurance, because you never know what somebody is going through. So just those little kind words go a long way. And even with the squat thing, my goal for my own little next few months is to do a push-up and do the splits. When I was younger, peasy. I used to bust them splits out, side, middle, side. Like, now it's just like, girl, you're 34, so it's just, It's still
in there. Muscle memory is real, so it's just setting a goal and operating a plan.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely have to talk to you more about that, because I need to move these bones. They just be tightening up, and I got to start moving them. But can you explain for the people that don't know what exactly Flexology is?
Of course. So Flexology is a space committed to helping individuals develop mobility and dynamic flexibility also. Overall, the goal is just functional health. So most of my content is like, you know, splits and the back bends and stuff like that. But the overall goal is to feel good in your body well into age. So being able to walk up and down the stairs comfortably, being able to sit into a seat without your hips cracking and popping, being able to, you know, carry your bags without your hands feeling weak, like having that strength. And it started, or was birthed from my love of movement, and also my desire to create something that felt accessible to everybody. So I had mentioned earlier, my first expression or like experience with intentional self-care was yoga and meditation. And I've realized that everybody doesn't feel like yoga is accessible for them, or they may not have an interest in it. Some people might see it and just automatically kind of like check out from any possible benefits of that. And although I was able to take some positive things from my time experiencing and teaching in yoga spaces, I just knew that I wanted to create something that was specifically for having a deeper understanding of how your body functions and prioritizing simple, sustainable movements that could have like drastic or dynamic impact. And so Flexology was birthed from like that concept, and it's giving me permission to be able to kind of pull in like those additional components, like the life coaching, the affirming.
It's all wrapping up into one.
It's all wrapping up into one. And as somebody who's very multifaceted, I feel like sometimes all of my passions can kind of just like, you know, get a little disjointed. And Flexology has allowed me to literally just put all of that into one space. Right now, it has been very heavily focused to Black women, but it's not exclusive to Black women. But Black women, they're my girls. Like, they've always supported me in whatever it is that I do. Tomorrow, if I decide I want to sell cars, Black women gonna be like, hey girl, let me buy a truck, right? So like, I have always had them in my mind and in my heart when I'm like creating and developing like the curriculum and how I want to, you know, present it and the formatting. But I've had people from all different walks of life take the course and feel like their lives changed from that course. Continue to take it, refer people, bring people back out. So all in all, it is a training course, but it is slowly evolving into much more. Additional products, additional offerings and services. But right now, Flexology is a 6-week training course that touches on all of those different things. So not just the flexibility component, but mobility also. And if people don't know the difference between the two, I always say that mobility speaks to your bones and joints ability to like fluidly move through different ranges of motion, whereas flexibility speaks to the lengthening and flexion of like your muscles along those bones and joints. So it's kind of bringing it all into one. Yeah.
Okay, so that was my question. How long is the course? Is 6 weeks. What if after the 6 weeks someone wants to continue to come? Would they re-enroll in another course for like another 6? Okay.
Yep, and that's literally what always happens. Like, I've had students that have taken Flexology 6 times.
Yeah, because it's like once you get to that groove, is become a part of like of your self-care. I do want to say this. You're so soft-spoken.
Really?
It's like everything is just like, Flexology is like more like a soft, sensual, you know, and you're so soft-spoken. It's just like,
I don't think I've ever had anybody tell me I was soft-spoken.
You are.
Really?
I mean, I didn't expect you to be rah-rah, hoorah, but it's just, you're very
That's
soft-spoken.
how I feel in my head. No. Like, very rah-rah.
You're very soft-spoken, and it's just like, you are like, you're walking.
Thank
you.
You
are like a walking brand, like a walking billboard.
That made me feel so warm and fuzzy inside. It was, one other thing, to kind of like piggyback off what you were saying about the training and what people should do if they want to continue to take it, that's important. It is progressive curriculum. So it's not like, oh, I took this once and I'm just going to keep learning the same thing. If you repeat and like return as a student, there's always progressive curriculum that's presented to you.
So you get better and better.
Always are going to get more. Even if you come to me with all the skills in the world, there is still more for you to learn. Yep. So anybody, like beginner to advanced, is literally like a very drawn out curriculum that will like meet you where you're at.
Have you ever taught children? Do you do children?
Children are my favorite. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not my wheelhouse. Like little kids is not my wheelhouse. Like But I have taught children. I've had curriculum in schools. So
that's my daughter. She's 5. I would be like, can I work out with you? I'm like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
Let's do a squat, and she'll do a flip. Like, okay, go. Like you don't get it.
It's my personal like ADHD that don't allow me to like. Some people really have a gift for working with kids, and I just don't feel like that's my ministry. Like adults, I got you. And speaking to the inner child in an adult, for sure. But
kids,
no, I always have to like give myself a pep talk when I'm about to work with kids. So.
Well, at least you know that, because I feel like that's how a lot of people getting like to jobs with kids and jobs with like special needs. So even with
abusing them or impatient.
Even with me working in nursing homes, this is what I love to do. I do it in relationships, friendships. I love to care, like to take care of people. So this is what I love to do. But you can also tell me from a person who don't love to do it, that's doing my job. So it's just like, it's good that you're self-aware and you're able to know, like, okay, the kids, they're not really my cup of tea, so I'm going to stay over. That's really good. What exactly is the Hug Haven?
The Hug Haven is actually abbreviation. So the Hug in Hug Haven stands for Healing Unbearable Grievances. And essentially it is a grief and trauma navigation support group. So we offer events as well as other services that help individuals that are like navigating traumatic experience or grief. And when I say grief, I speak to all modalities of grief. So that could be a physical loss of somebody, identity crisis, loss of a job, grief in all its forms, right? Heartbreak, which literally,
that's definitely grief. You're definitely
for sure.
grieving.
Pets, like all of those different things. And that, if it's a follow-up question, that was birthed from my own experience with grief. I actually did not want to start the Hug Haven.
Really?
No. That was definitely me just being obedient and operating out of obedience, because something I noticed very early on as I was navigating through grief is that there are not a lot of communities specifically for people that are working through grief. You might have like support when the incident initially happens, but like that continued support, like that, you know, community that is okay with you just breaking down or like talking about something over and over and over until you work through it. Like, it's not a lot of spaces for that. And a lot of people don't have capacity for that. And I've realized that even when I don't want to, I feel like I have like an inexhaustible amount of capacity for just like holding space for people. So I created it. It has been my baby. I feel like I've been neglecting it this season of my life, but there are, you know, some things to come for that. But something I am very, very proud of within the Hug Haven is a scholarship that is specifically for people that are navigating grief also, but it's, you know, some other specifics within that. But in honor of my best friend who passed, and that was like my first like real experience with grief.
Is that what another component that made you start Hug Haven?
Like the component.
The component, okay.
Yep. So my best friend of 12 years and her son, who's my godson, they passed in 2022, like unexpectedly to carbon monoxide.
Kelly Grant, right? Okay.
And then her son, his name was Kanan. And then exactly 1 month after their passing, my grandmother passed.
Oh my God.
So like that entire year, or that entire the full year, I would just kind of like label that like my first encounter with grief, and it was just so overwhelming. I didn't have like a slow kind of like, you know what I mean? It was just like all at once, like all different forms of it, and it was very, very, very heavy for me. But I also saw how heavy it was for my circle, and I was like, okay, there needs to be spaces for people to like operate and, you know, get what they need. So the Hug Haven was birthed from that experience, and that scholarship is in her honor, the Kelly Grant.
I love that, especially you doing something in tribute to your best friend. That's really good. And what you said about you have support when something first happened. It's like with me, with a certain situation that I'm going through right now, when I was sitting in a car and I was just thinking, like, I just wish I had somebody to talk to. And it's just like the people that I talk to, or I would normally talk to on a daily basis, I get to a point where I was like, okay, they're tired of hearing about it. But just because a person is tired of hearing about it, that don't mean you don't need to talk about it. So it's just like, it just eats you up, because it's like, I don't want to be overly just dumping, but at the same time, I need to release. So that is amazing. Like that's definitely needed. Because me, on the other hand, you can talk to me about something a trillion times, and every time I'm just listening.
Yeah,
I'm listening, and I'm like, okay, well, you should do this. I don't care if I told you 50 times before. Some people just need that, and then some people also just need you to just listen and not say anything. So, yes, that is.
It kind of serves that same purpose too, like just like a reminder that our voice that tells us, oh my God, this person is tired of hearing me, is not true. And even if it's true about a specific person, there are so many other people that have capacity to just be there for you, hold space, give you a literal hug if that's what you need, take you to go do something, like whatever it is. And it's been something that I haven't had to be the sole contributor to. The community itself kind of like operates for each other.
That's good. Do you ever feel like you face any challenges being a Black woman in the wellness industry?
I like that question. Honestly, yes, but not from people who are outside of my community. Like it's within, unfortunately, like
all the time.
The few occurrences, it hasn't been many, and even if it has, like I'm such a like I don't really care. If I'm being honest, like I really don't care. But I can't, like, even though I don't care, I can't dismiss that. Like there has been some small experiences of people really just kind of like projecting their own experiences onto me, and I think it stemmed from a place of people not always seeing maybe somebody that looks like me or is as, you know, outspoken or like the same body type or like from the hood, like you saying, you know, like those types of things, not always seeing that kind of person be the said spokesperson for like wellness. Like that's not, you know, common.
Ideal.
That's not like the ideal situation. So there has been other like Black women or just Black people or Detroiters that have like kind of like projected that in a very in a very subliminal way to me, and I just kind of let it, you know, just kind of, if you're not gonna like address me directly or put it on the floor, then it's just like, okay, I'm not addressing it. And it also is not something I believe about myself. I think that I'm more than qualified to be a leader in this space, and I'm in great company. Like it's lots of people. I look around and I see a lot of like really beautiful Black men, Black women, you know, young adults, older, more mature adults, Detroiters like that are doing the things in this space specifically and thriving. So it's like, I can't help you with that. You know what I mean? Like I just kind of let it roll off my shoulder for real.
That just, something similar just happened to me ever since 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when I first started really working out, because my weight is always so up and down, up and down, up and down. I used to go to Zumba, and I was like one of the only Black people in there. So I just been loving just going to the gym and just moving around so much. I'm like, I want to get certified in Zumba and like teach Zumba classes.
As you should.
My sister was like, you said that 15 years ago. I'm like, yeah, but I didn't think I was really qualified because there are like different race women, you know, the sauce, all of that. I'm like, but I feel like a lot of times our own people don't do certain things because they don't think they're qualified or they don't want to be the only, because me and my sister, we were the only two young Black girls in the class. It was all older, different race women. And I'm like, but I could just see if they see somebody that look like them doing it, more people will want to do it. And she was just like, I think you should do it. Like, she like, you should, like, that's good, you should do it. And then I told someone else and they were like, oh, like trap Zumba.
Just because you Black don't mean you gotta put a trap in front of something.
I said, why trap Zumba? She was like, because I know you're not gonna know, you don't know how to dance to the other type of music. I said, who said that? Who said that?
Yeah.
And she like, oh, because I'm not you.
Yeah.
I said this on I said this on a lot of episodes. I say this at job interviews and everywhere. You show me something, I can learn it. Whatever I put my mind to, I can do. Like I can do anything that if I think I can do it, I can do it. So that kind of threw me off. But this is also a person that says she want to do something and just don't really. And I'm like, go, you should do it. And then when you don't get that same like support in return, it's just like, But I also feel how you treat me says more about how you feel about yourself than how 100%. You actually feel about me. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes it's closer projection. Than you think. Yeah, it's projection. Because when somebody tell me they want to do something, I'm like, you should do it. Like right now, let's do. Because I know I'm just the same way about my own thoughts and my own goals. So I understand that 100%.
I never forget when somebody's auto response is positive or if it's pessimistic. I never forget that. Like, it only takes me one time to like learn what your natural response is, and that just tells me about the relationship with you have with yourself, and that helps me determine whether or not I'm going to digest information you give to me or if I'm just gonna let it pass me by. So that's definitely something that I feel like is important to be able to do in a space of leadership, for sure. 'Cause everybody has an opinion, and the more exposed you get, the larger your reach expands. The opinions just get bolder and bolder and bolder.
Sometimes it's like the audacity.
Yeah.
Because what are you doing?
The things people have recommended that I do, I'd be like, no, thank you. It never gave that.
I'm learning that, because I used to be a person when I wasn't as confident as I am now. Well, yeah, how I usually am, but just not right in this season. I'm learning that I don't have to overthink every little thing somebody said to me.
Yeah.
Like, I just told somebody earlier, I'm like, they were saying something and they were trying to be so like passive aggressive with it, and I was just like, you're trying to tear me down because you're trying to kick me when I'm down. I said, but I'm so used to it from you. It's like, it's just irritating that you keep texting my phone, and I just like, I get it. I understand. You want to make me feel bad, worse than I already feel. I understand that it's not working this time. Just carry on with your day.
Yeah, keep it pushing.
And they're like, huh? Exactly. Like, I know what you're doing. I'm not about to spend all day like, what? I know what you're doing. Just go away, please. Yeah. What I do want to say is Flexology and Hug Haven, they just seem like so like sacred, like really, really sacred, intentional spaces, more like invite only type things. Like, it's so it's just that's just what it gives. Like, it's like everybody can't come in. Is that what you envisioned when you first decided to do both of those things, that it would be like so intentional? Not
like very intentional. Always wanted it to be intentional, but not intentionally excluding any particular person, like, but more so excluding certain energy.
Yes, that's what
so. Like, I believe I do a very good job of displaying what the intention for those spaces are publicly. So, like, you're gonna check yourself first, and even if you get into this space and you come with like an energy that's like not welcome here, it's gonna feel so uncomfortable, where like you probably will remove yourself if that's not what you own before you are able to like taint the experience or taint the vibe. But definitely sacred. And I've never used the words safe space to describe the Hug Haven or Flexology, but everybody who has experienced it has.
That's definitely what it is.
And I think that is more valid than me saying it. Like, it's nothing for me to say, oh, everything I do is a safe space, I'm a safe person. I could say that all day. But the people who are experiencing me and experiencing the services I provide saying it is just like, they said it. Yeah. I ain't have to say it. You know what I mean? You don't even have,
that's what they say. That's what they said.
That's what they said. That's what they saying.
Who is she? That's what they said. What does being the wellness it girl mean to you?
Ooh. Okay, so I actually didn't come up with that.
Who did?
Everybody. That's what they would say.
That's what they said.
That's what they said. Like, I have like 3 people who like would consistently say stuff along the lines of that, like, you the Detroit wellness Beyonce, and I used to be like, no, like, it's not giving that, y'all, like, stop. But after somebody tells you something so many times, it's like, okay, maybe there is some truth to this. And I only like actually started putting that into like my branding and marketing because I just feel like people have like a preconceived notion about like it girl, and it gave me an opportunity to kind of like reframe what that can look like. I don't always show up online like super polished and all done up. I don't look crazy, but
I be on there looking crazy. Like, y'all watch Pop the Balloon, hair be an afro. Like, look at this part. Like, girl,
I don't like, you know, look unkept, but I just show up as myself, whatever that is. Maybe that's fully put together and super done up, and maybe it's just like me in my athleisure. But like the confidence is always gonna give. Like I know who I am, regardless of what you're seeing, and I also know my impact, and it's like that, and it's always been. So I feel like it's time for me to actually start like just operating that like more boldly, just as boldly as I affirm other people, and just as boldly as I will like tell somebody you that girl. Like it's okay for me to say like, yeah, I am that, and my track record has consistently shown that, and so it's totally fine. And
as soon as you start talking, when I asked the question, I immediately thought like when people say, oh, I'm an it girl, I'm an it girl, I'm an it girl, but what is it?
Yeah, what is it?
What is it?
Yeah.
Where is it? What is it? What is it that you're doing? So I love how you put the wellness it girl. So it's like you don't even have to look at my page, see what this is what it is.
Yeah.
I really love that.
Thank you.
How do you stay so grounded with doing so many things? I feel like you should start if you don't already, I just need like a Chelsea's week. You always have something going on. Like Monday this, Tuesday, it's just like yesterday when I seen that you had the stretching, it was already like 5:45. Yeah. I'm like, oh, and I was going that way to get my daughter. I'm like, my sister like, you got all that for you better. And I'm like, can't even swiggle no time in. But yes, I love that. How do you stay grounded with all those things going on?
I don't know if I do stay grounded. I think I think it looks like that, but I don't know if it's like grounded. I think that what I strive to do is just have harmony. Like I stray away from like balance. I feel like that's impossible. Harmony is like what I'm always aiming for, and to me that's just like moving, not going with the flow, but like being in sync with like the movement of what's happening. And for instance, yesterday, like that event is a bi-weekly like free community initiative that I do, or I've been doing for the last 3 years. And yesterday the weather was very unpredictable. Like it said it was gonna rain at one point, then the rain went away, then it said it was gonna come back. Like it was so many things that would probably make most people get very frazzled and frustrated, and I was just like, whatever happens is just gonna happen. If it doesn't rain, I'm gonna be there. If people come, cool. If they don't, cool. Like I'm just like very content with whatever happens, and that comes from honestly like my faith practice. I have not always been that way. I used to be very anxious, very easily frazzled, very chaotic all over the place, and I realized that was a big contributor to my mental health deteriorating. And because I never want to drift back into a space where like I'm just very unwell, I know like I have to,
it's certain things you have to do.
You gotta lock in. And so I don't know, I kind of always have like a little voice in the back of my head reminding me of that, especially now that so many other people like are looking to me for like that kind of like leadership. And yeah, I don't know how I do it. I take it literally day by day, minute by minute, honestly, not even day by day, like just moment by moment.
Peace on Pearson. Did you grow up on Pearson?
I did.
What exactly is Peace on Pearson? Is it yoga?
So Peace on Pearson, that's the event that I was just speaking about, is a community initiative that I do in collaboration with Emoja Village, which is a community garden space on Puritan and Stansbury. Shout out to Emoja Village. And it birthed from my passion for bringing, again, something that was very transformative to me personally back to my community. So I grew up on Puritan. My grandparents and my mom still have properties and still live on Puritan, so I'm quite literally always on Puritan. And I still live in Detroit, so it's not like I'm away. But I never saw anything like that happening in that community at all.
When I first seen Peace, I'm like, Puritan?
Peace and Puritan in the same sentence never get right. Exactly. And I I knew, and that's what I had in my mind when I was like, okay, this is what I want to call it, because I want to change the narrative.
Like an eye catcher, like peace on prison.
Yeah, it sounds like I wanted to change the narrative about that community in particular, because although there were like, you know, some challenging experiences that I had, overall I had a great time growing up, and still, like, there were very positive things that happened in that specific community that contributed to who I am now as a person. And a lot of my offerings are in the downtowns of Detroit, or like the Birminghams, or like I'm, you know, doing a lot of collaborative work with higher end companies or people who have like disposable income. But like, it's very important to be able to make sure what you're doing, if it's so impactful, is accessible. And everybody don't have $30 to pay for parking to come downtown. You know what I mean? Everybody don't have like the resources to be able to, you know, invest in a Flexology or whatever. So taking those things and like putting them right there, making them accessible was very important to me. And so I connected with the founder and creator of Emoji Village, and I told him like, hey, he's a Detroit Puritan native too, and I told him like, we should do something that is specifically for them and is rooted in wellness. Amazing. It started off as yoga, so the first 2 years was yoga and meditation. This year I have kind of like reframed it from yoga to just stretching, so that it's, again, more accessible and something that's just more approachable. Even
when you hear yoga, it's like yoga, like come stretch. Okay, cool. We about to stretch.
You either have like people that are like super down, like, oh, I love yoga, I'm gonna do this for sure, and then you have a complete polar of that that's like, that's not my thing, and just kind of exit out. And so I was like, okay, this year I definitely want to kind of like drift into something that's just a lot more approachable, language that just you understand it. It's people that still don't know what yoga is. So like stretching, everybody for the most part know like, okay, I can do a little stretch, you know, whether you're, you know, a senior or a child. Like, I feel like that's something that I can do. And I also add an additional component of having a business spotlight every time that I offer that class, because typically
I seen that too. I like that.
Yeah, the last 2 years it's always been a really good turnout. Like, it's probably like 25 to 30 people on a random Thursday, you know, moving in a, you know, community. So this year I wanted to take advantage of like that communal support while we here doing this movement. As we're transitioning, y'all stop by this business, even if you don't purchase whatever they have,
just give them a look.
Get in there, getting your eyes on these people, connecting with them, you know, exchanging resources. And it's been working so far. It's been going really well. This year we are doing it bi-weekly, just because my capacity is a little less than it was the first 2 years, but still same impact. And I envision bringing on other facilitators for like the next years to come, if I don't have the space or capacity to continue facilitating it myself, so that it just continues to, you know, happen.
This is something I could see you going on, and then like, oh well, a woman named Chelsea started this back in
exactly. So or even if it's not just Puritan, you know what I mean, Finkel, 7 Mile, we want peace everywhere, right? Like, just knowing that there are people who want to bring their gifts right into the city.
How has faith played a role in all of this?
Woo, that's a loaded question. So as a believer, I love Jesus Christ down. My faith has forced me to be like radically vulnerable. A lot of people don't like telling like all of their business. I don't like telling all of my business, but there are parts of my story that really teach people the why as to, you know, what I do. And service is a big part of being a Christian.
I feel like that's our purpose, to serve.
It is literally service, creation and service, and love, out of love. Knowing that, like, now being a little more intentional about my walk with Christ, that wasn't always the case. I grew up Christian, but I definitely had seasons in my life where I kind of strayed away from that and was just like in the world trying to just figure it out and grasp into anything that felt familiar. And after a very dark season of my life, grief, I was literally pulled right back into that space, and all of my communication was like crystal clear as to who I am, whose I am, what I should be doing, where I should be doing it, how I should be doing it. And the rewards that I have received as a byproduct of just being obedient to that and not like straying away from it or not resisting it have just really like fulfilled me. it's making me emotional, but it's a fulfillment that like I've always been looking for in so many things. Like I've always been like searching for that. Like I would get obsessed with like the gym and like wanting to, you know, develop a certain type of body and like all of these things, or like a person, a boyfriend, whatever, like just grasping. And I would fill my cup, but my cup would never like run it over, right? But like once I got serious about my walk with Christ and I allowed him to show up in all of the spaces that I'm in, everything just multiplied. So what you mentioned earlier about like things just happening naturally, I really truly believe that that is like vesselship and God like showing up in me as a vessel. So like I try to like stray away from taking like full, you know, credit for those things, because it don't really, it's not me, you know what I mean? It's me. Obviously I want to like,
you're putting the work
I'm putting the work in, I'm
you know,
choosing, but I know who the source is for like that light and that power. And it's everything. Like all of my work is rooted in my faith, every single part of it. Like there's been times where I would like have a conversation with somebody and they're like, oh, I know you from social media, I want to take your class, and you know, it's in my budget, you know, I'm gonna take it this time. And I'll just be like, just come take it, you know, on me. Do I always want to do that? Not necessarily, you know, I gotta pay my bills, but like there will be moments where I just hear God tell me like, do this, say this, and seeing a reaction on the person on the other side, like on the receiving end of those interactions, is just like constant confirmation. Like you real, like this is real, like this is not something I'm making up in my head, like this is very real. And it just feels so good. Like it feels very good.
I was just having a conversation on Instagram, and I had posted something to my close friends a little bit about my situation, and they were just like, just keep doing the work, like just keep doing the work. And I'm like, I'm tired.
Yeah,
and they like,
exhausted.
You're going to be. I'm like, I have nothing left. Like I have no more fight left in me. I was talking to my sister, and it was just real. Our conversation was just so dark, and she was like, I need to come over there. I'm like, no, you know, she's like, no, you never talk like this. I'm like, I'm just tired. Like I'm just tired. And she like, but just keep doing the work. Just keep doing the work. And it's just like, okay, all right, girl. So it's just confirmation that you just gave me, because someone literally just told me the exact same thing. Like before I got here, like in my DM, they was telling me this. And I do believe that it's like miracles happen. Literal like stuff will happen, you be like I know that was God. Yeah. And then if you tell somebody, they think you crazy, like, but it'd be like, no, you don't understand. Like this, like you will ask for this and it'll be the exact, it'll just be there. So I love getting those little confirmations, especially when you just feel like, what's next? Yeah. Like what's next? So I really,
and sometimes
really love
those
that.
little moments are just for us. Like the unbelief of other people is inevitable. So sometimes it's like literally just for you to have a little piece of confirmation.
Something happened. I was telling my friend something on the phone, and I was just trauma dumping. And
that's what friends.
Yeah, to each other back and forth. She like, okay, so how was your day? And I'm like, well, the next day something happened, and it's like literally what we talked about, it was just turned around completely. And I wanted to call her so bad, like, you won't believe, but it was just like, it's just for me. And it was just for me. And I just, when people had these conversations like, who you believe in? Because I was like, do what you do, because I'm not even about to have a conversation with you, because I can lay out so many different situations where God is the only answer, but you're still going to find in your brain people in these conversations that I see on social media about God and these other things. It's
a lot.
It's crazy. Do you have any new projects coming up?
New projects. Ooh, I got some stuff, but I can't tell y'all yet. But what I can tell y'all, so not necessarily a new project. I did it last year. I did a residency in collaboration with City Glow and Water Square Residences. It was like a rooftop series that I did throughout the summer. I am bringing that back this year, but bigger, different building. And it's going to be a vibe. It's called Elevate. It's a residency series. So once a month, I'll be offering, it's like a very premium wellness experience. Similar to what I did last year, but again, like more approachable. So it'll be stretching, it'll be some journaling and like emotional interaction, meditation,
like upscale.
Upscale, like real deal. But we going deep. A lot of times these like upscale premium wellness experiences are like solely for like the aesthetic. No shade, no tea, but like
we really tapping into
you are gonna leave with a shift internally, whether you express it outwardly or not. Like you're gonna know, like, okay, something. Yeah. And I want to obviously touch many more lives this year than I did last year. The capacity for the space we were in last year was 100. Every session sold out. And so when something just keeps selling out, like it sounds good to say sold out, but like if it keeps happening, like you need to expand. And so this year that was definitely like, all right, let's, you know, find a bigger space, go bigger. So more people can experience it though. So yeah, that's coming up. And then what else? What other projects? I have a product under Flexology that is coming out
coming soon.
I'm
excited.
Something that anybody and everybody will be able to
workout
experience. I'm not just saying that. It's really not workout clothes. It's an actual like something you can do. Coming soon, real soon, like in a month.
Is it like a DVD? You can't say? Okay. What's your favorite go-to, your favorite self-care, like your favorite go-to thing that you do for self-care?
Travel.
What's your favorite place you've been?
You know, about it here. Honestly, Japan.
That's on my list.
Yeah. Before I went to Japan, the Philippines was my best experience because I did a study abroad trip there. So I was there for a long time and I got to like really dive deep into like the culture and I had a very broad experience of it. But I'm gonna have to say Japan. I loved Japan. It was a time. Like it was a time. I know the internet is like talking about Japan right now. They not lying. Like it was so fun.
Yeah, that was one of my bucket list trips. I went to for my birthday. I just sporadically was like, I need to do something extreme. And I went to Paris by myself.
I love Paris.
I went to Paris for a couple of days. And then if I would have listened to other people, I would have never, they like, Paris is dirty. Paris is boring.
It definitely is dirty though.
Yes.
But it's still beautiful.
Fun. It's an experience. Yeah. I'm like, okay, it's dirty. People step on these shoes. But it's an experience. I can say I woke up and went to Paris for my birthday. I was there for a week. I went to Paris for the first 2.5 days. On my actual birthday, I woke up and took the train to Belgium.
Nice.
And then I stayed there for one day. Took another train to Amsterdam. Then I stayed there for one day. Then I went back to Paris and then I came home and I was just like, you can't tell me anything. I just went. I had so much fun.
Yeah.
Traveling, people don't know how much fun solo traveling is.
Oh, talk about it. I love solo traveling. You can
sleep in. Or you can wake up at 5. Or you can take a midday nap. Or you can eat the same thing every day. You don't have to have nobody complaining about you not wanting to do anything.
No, I love solo traveling. I started solo traveling out of scarcity of people who will like follow through. But it ended up being a blessing because, oh, girl, I love solo traveling.
Every year for my birthday, it was even a year I got me and my friend plane tickets and in the last minute she said she couldn't go. Every year for my birthday, I'm like, it's $1 million. Oh yeah, let's do the deal when it's time to go. Yeah. Now I can't even go because I'm irritated because nobody else is going. This year I was like, I'm not even telling nobody, I'm just going. And I just
my solo trips started from that, like people falling through on trips, but then it transitioned into like intentionally planning things to do alone. I did a solo trip last year for my birthday. That was amazing. It's not a solo trip this coming up, but I'm kind of doing what you did, like just a little European, having a European summer.
I wish I could have went to London. I wanted to go to London. Did I miss anything?
Snooze fest. No.
Really?
But I'm big on autonomy, so like go and still experience it for yourself. Because I enjoyed Paris, but I agree with like the whole sentiment of it being kind of dirty. But I'm about to go back to Paris next month.
When I got there, I'm like, okay, I see what they meant.
Yeah.
But y'all ain't go.
Yeah.
So
so it's not like just trifling to the point where nobody should go there. It's just kind of like
it's rats running around. I didn't see that.
It's just a jump scare. Certain parts, it's like, oh, they didn't show that. But that's anywhere.
That's anywhere you go.
You know what I mean? You go to a luxurious retreat or like resort, and you get there and like
you gonna
on your way there, you went through the hood, like, and it was crazy.
When I went to Jamaica, we went to the resort we got there real early, so when I'm like, oh, it's so nice.
Yeah.
On our way to Rick's Cafe, they were in the street, one hand with a machete, the other hand they had a machete in one hand, a goat in the other hand. It's just they just outside. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah. And that's what I was telling somebody. It's like a ghetto in no matter where.
Yeah, and I won't even just like single it into just like a ghetto, but just like when you have not been somewhere, the only thing that you know about that space is what people have shown you, what you see on the news, on media, on the internet, and until you actually go and experience it for yourself, you never really know.
Like growing up, when they show Africa, you just think it's just sand and people with no shoes
My
on.
mind was blown when I went to Africa.
But my friend went to Africa and she was like, it's like paradise. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, you only know what they show you. So
100%. I had the same experience in Africa. I literally had to have a video like, yeah, they lied, y'all. Like,
no, serious.
It's like certain parts of Africa are further developed than like, here. So
that's what I heard as well. What's your favorite wellness snack?
Ooh, my favorite snack is not a healthy snack.
What is it?
I'm a chipaholic. I love a chip. I love a chip. It don't even matter what kind of chip. Like, I love chips down. But I have to give another snack that's not like chips.
Your favorite healthy snack?
My favorite healthy snack? I like nuts, like mixed nuts, stuff like that. Nuts. I like seaweed, like the dry seaweed.
Oh, you're so healthy.
Yeah. Jeez. I like dried fruits, like dried mango. Fruit in general, like just fruit without nothing extra. Yeah. For the most part, I eat pretty clean, pretty healthy. Chips are like my guilty pleasure. It's like, okay, you doing all of this right, you can have a little chip. Yeah.
What if you could only eat one meal for 30 days, what would it be?
Salmon.
And what? Rice?
Broccolini.
Okay.
Not broccoli. I like broccolini. I like broccoli too, but
I had
it would be broccolini
for the first time.
Salmon.
Like last week I had it. It wasn't bad.
Yeah. Like asparagus and broccoli had a baby.
I like it better than asparagus. Yeah, I like it way better than asparagus.
Yeah, I would eat that. I kind of do eat that like every day.
What does a day of rest look like for you?
In my bed, rubbing my feet together with my dog, watching TV, but not actually watching TV. Like the TV is just on and I'm probably just like scrolling. That is like a mental reset for me. If not that, an actual nap. Not like sleep, like a good nap, like 2-3 hour nap.
I love a nap.
It's so different from like a good night's rest. Yes, like very different.
When I go to the gym, this is the thing. I like to eat before I go to the gym. So when I get finished, I'm not really hungry. So it's just because if I don't eat and I work out, I'm starving. So I have to go home. Then I have to make me something to eat, calories. And then I have to do this. I like to go to the gym. As soon as I leave the gym, take a scorching hot shower, get in the bed with the fan on, turn on the TV. Not about to watch it.
Just let it play.
Get on my phone, start dozing off, and give me a little nap, like 2.5-3 hours.
It's
perfect. Wake up, it feel like a new day.
It's the best. It's nothing like it. If I could put a price on that, like that's like $1 million experience to me. I love it.
So that was my question. My next question: what does a day of rest look like for you? Is that in the bed with your dog?
Yeah, that's like peak day of rest for sure. And I would spend like the whole day like that.
That's a luxury. That's like a look. Sometimes when I don't have my daughter, that's what I want to do. Like, oh, let's. I'm like, okay, I'll call you. I'm going home, take a shower.
Yeah.
Oh, please let it rain. I'm opening my window and I'm just I can stay in my bed and look at and the TV could be playing all day. Sometimes I don't even get hungry. I just be basking in my pillows, in my bed, and my comforter. So I get that.
If not that, I would do like. Me and my best friend are very low maintenance. Like we don't require a lot from each other when we're in like company. So like being with her and just like on the couch
doing nothing
together, a blast.
It's a post. It was two best friends and it was like, hey, you want to come over and do nothing? It was like, sure.
Yes, with some hot fries. Oh
my daughter, mommy, can you bring me back some hot fries? That girl, somebody just posted like, you let her eat those if Listen, a hot fry. I hate to see my daughter coming.
Me.
And I hate when she get like 4 of them. And she's like, and I'm just like, yeah, eat one at a time, or I'm gonna take the bag. I got her a little bag once, and she was like,
"It's not enough.
It's just a snack." I'm like, "That's right, it's a snack." She like, "But what about eat the chips?" Nah, you
love a hot fry.
She love hot. And I'm like, "You got hot Cheetos at home?" I want hot fries. Like, is there really a difference?
And I'm so vocal about this, like, even as the wellness it girl, because it's just like everybody have their little things in moderation. Like, I'm gonna have me a hot fry. I'm sorry.
That was me. I went to the gym 7 straight days. I'm like, okay, 7 out of 7. I'm like, it's Sunday, I'm gonna do something small. Then I'm like, I want a burger. And this guy who give me a lot of like gym advice, he was like, have a burger.
Yeah.
I was like, but he like, you went to the gym 7 days.
Yeah.
Have a burger. I'm like, all right.
And that's how you pull in that sustainability into your practice. Like, if you go, some people do just completely avoid certain things, and so I'm not like preaching everybody gotta have a hot fry, but like if you have like certain things that you enjoy from time to time in moderation, I feel like it's realistic for you to have those from time to time. You know what I mean?
And I'm not gonna have a burger every day, because that's the defeating purpose.
Or not even every weekend, because sometimes what you do on the weekend will completely undo your whole week. But if you try to go 100% all the time, when you crash out, the crash out is going to be crazy. You're going to have 10 burgers. It's like, you could have just had your little burger and been satisfied and went on about your day. So, yes.
What's one thing you wish people understood more, like a misconception about wellness?
I think a misconception about wellness is that it has to fall under the parameters of like athleisure set, you know, your fancy water, your Stanley Cup, or your matcha, and your reformer Pilates. And if it's not that, then it's not wellness. But like we mentioned, me spending a day at home, rubbing my feet together, scrolling on my phone, if that helps me to reset my nervous system, then that falls under my definition of wellness. So I feel like this boxing of what wellness is definitely like a misconception. I really do feel like wellness as a whole and how we define it is very different. Like, it's just contingent on who you're talking to and what season they're in their lives. Like, the things that I prioritize now as far as like wellness habits and like my journey might look completely different than, you know, 40-year-old Chelsea or 50-year-old Chelsea or 20-year-old Chelsea. Because the stuff I was doing for wellness in my 20s, I look back like, girl, what are you doing? I'm undoing those things now. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm still in my 20s. So it's just kind of like crazy work. But yeah, I just being open-minded to like wellness looking different and that being okay. Yeah.
What advice could you give a woman right now that's just feeling unsure, want to tap into her wellness journey, but she don't feel like she probably like have the resources or have the time really? What's something that she could like do at home? Yeah,
movement is medicine. Literally, I quite literally healed myself, like chemically speaking, through movement. And movement is literally what it says. Like, it's just moving your body. It can look like a lot of different things. So if you are in that space and you want to, you know, take those steps, start at home. You know, start with something simple. YouTube University, there are a plethora of resources right on YouTube, and it is a broad, you know, option to like what you can choose from, whether it's Pilates, stretching, yoga, you know, Zumba, whatever that looks like. Like, there are people who have already created things that you can, you know, take advantage of on like those free platforms. Outside of like prioritizing movement, finding a community. If you can't find a community, build a community, period. Like, if the things that you need are not accessible to you, then it's your responsibility to create those things. I feel like it's easy for us to complain and talk about like what we don't have, but why not be the solution
and make it
start it literally. Like, that's how a lot of my work was created. Oh, there's not this, I could go on a 2-hour rant on social media about it, but I also could like put my boots to the ground and create it. And now not only am I providing myself with a solution, but I'm providing other people with a solution, and that feels even more rewarding. So yeah, I would stick to those. No, I'm not gonna stop at those two things. So movement is medicine. Find a community. If you can't find a community, build a community and get to know God.
Oh yes,
for sure. For yourself. Like, for yourself. Don't take nobody else's word for it. Don't take, your grandparents, your mama, your daddy. Find God for yourself and develop and tend to that relationship on your own. You will never regret taking the initiative to develop that relationship. And if you have taken steps in that direction to building a relationship with God and you still feel like, I can't hear him, I don't understand him, I don't know if God is speaking to me, I always tell people that the only way that you get familiar with somebody is to keep going to them. Like, this is our first time talking, so if I was to just hear your voice out in the world, I might not just recognize it right off the bat. But the more I get to know you, the more I put myself in proximity with you, I'll start to know you well enough to where I don't have to be around you to know, oh, that smell like her, that sound like her, that look like her, that's something she would wear, that's something she would say. And you have to have the same desire to put in effort to get to know God in that way. And the reality is, a lot of us, sometimes we don't have that desire. So I would start there. I would start there first. And then
the other two.
Yes, pull all those other two things into it.
Well, I really, really appreciate you coming. Thank you so much. I'm so happy we were able to agree on a time.
Yes, because a very busy girl.
Yes, you are. And then this week I started orientating for a new job, and they're like, "We're gonna be here Monday through Friday." I'm like, "I don't care. I'm still doing it. Thank you." So I appreciate you for coming, and that concludes this episode. He's listening. I always know he's listening. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you.